I got a hotel room right off Highway 80 in Roseville at the Hilton, and I drew a bath and got in. I took a disposable scalpel and I slashed both of my wrists and cut the artery, cut my brachial artery, you know. And I started crying and screaming and thrashing around in the bathtub, and I ended up catching the attention of the people in the room next door to me, and they called security, who then in turn called the cops, and they ended up kicking down the door and rushing me to the ER and putting a lot of blood in me. I stayed for about 2 or 3 days, and just saved my life, basically, I guess. In the first 3 years of my life, pretty much, my dad didn't work. He was a full-time stay-at-home dad, and he was really good with me, you know. I didn't really have a babysitter. You know, I didn't have to have a nanny or anything like that. I was always with one parent, and there was a lot of stability, and he was really good with me, you know. I've seen a lot of family videos and old tapes of stuff when I was really young, and he was really loving and supportive, and I seemed very happy. He didn't start hitting or backhanding me until I was about 12, and that was pretty consistent. I mean, there'd be sometimes he would just wake up in the middle of the night on a weekend, and I'd be playing computer games at like 1 or 2 in the morning, and he would just come in the room and just backhand me for no reason, turn the TV off and walk out and go downstairs and, you know, make a pot of coffee. And I just I didn't even know why, you know. I didn't know when I was gonna get it, what I was gonna do to deserve it, what I was gonna do to fuck up, and I was under a lot of stress. I was 16. He convinced my mom to sell the house that we'd been living in since I was like 3 or 4 years old. And as soon as the house closed that following weekend, he told my mom that he was leaving her, that he didn't love her and he wanted half the money, and he'll file a divorce, and that's it, and he's gone. And then when I was coming down really bad on ecstasy, I did OxyContin, and I tried it once before and it made me really sick and I didn't really like it. But I did less this time, and I was on a come down, and I snorted like maybe 15 milligrams, and I just felt like I was on fucking cloud 9. I felt amazing, no come down, couldn't feel my body, I didn't ache, I slept for like 18 hours, I woke up and felt amazing, and was like, that's what I need. I got completely addicted, you know. I shot up for the first time on my 16th birthday, and from there I was just completely addicted. And I'd ride T all the way down to 5th, and then 5th up to Broadway into the projects or the ghetto, and that's where I would meet my dealer, you know. He was a black guy, didn't have his license, lived in a little ghetto project house with like 6 kids, and he just slanged dope out of his house, and he never left, and he was always there. So I would just ride my bike over there, pick up 20 bucks, you know, a gram, 40 bucks, whatever, you know, and just maintain my habit. And I would have to do this every day, every single day. I was shooting up, strung out, withdrawing if I didn't have it, depressed. You know, my grandfather had been harping on me to join the military, to get out of there, or to move back to California. And I didn't really want to move back to California because I knew I would just use again, you know, and I wouldn't get anything done. So I started really looking at the military, and I went down and talked to a recruiter, and that was it. I was hooked. I was set, determined. I was like, no more dealing with my dad. I'll have a stable income. I'll get stationed in Germany, you know, working on jets or working in a hospital, and I'll be riding, you know, my mountain bike in the Alps in, you know, 6 months. You know, fuck it, I'm doing this, you know. So when I got back from my deployment, I was gone for a total of 8 months, and I relapsed almost as soon as I got back. And I kept using under the radar really discreetly as much as I could up until about April, and I got in trouble for some stupid little things, and I was coming down really bad one day, lost all my money, and the world was just coming in around me, and I tried to kill myself. I didn't get sober until November 10th, 2010, and that's when I found a really good program through the VA, the Veterans Association. I think after I'd finally just been through enough, after having killed myself or trying to kill myself, and you know, all the pain of my childhood and the experiences in the military, I chose life. I was ready, you know, I wasn't going to give up, and I just finally wanted it to work, and it stuck this time, you know, and I've been sober for about 7 months now, and this is the longest stint of sobriety I've ever had since the first time I've used, and you know, I came a long ways from where I was.